What is up, everybody? I'm PB Squamer, and we're starting a new series where I pick my favorite cars of the week from the website Cars and Bids. It is a car enthusiast website where they sell cool and interesting cars. It's run by Doug DeMero. They're currently hiring a marketing manager for social media and other things like that, and I have put my application in twice, and both times been rejected. So my new plan is to make this video popular enough that they cannot ignore me. Don't ignore me, Daddy Doug. Okay, let's jump right into it. As you probably can guess from the home screen, we're starting with the 1998 Formula Mazda. Now, I don't know anything about race cars. I don't know anything. I spend all my time looking about cars. I don't know anything about race cars. This thing seems cool. It's got a rotary engine in it, which I think is crazy for any kind of car nowadays because they don't really exist anymore because of emissions and things like that. They're hard to pass, and the reliability is sometimes questionable, but this has a rotary in it for a race car. Now, apparently, if you purchase this thing, it qualifies for Mazda's SCCA Club Racing, which is an American professional series called the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. So, formerly the Pro Mazda Championship. That's why it's a Mazda. As of right now, it's only got $9,500 for a bid. I think part of what I want to do with this channel is be like, what I would pay or what would I would consider a good deal for these cars. For this thing in particular, I have no idea. I have no idea what I would pay for this thing. $9,500 sounds good. I mean, it's not that expensive. According to Doug here, it's a fairly reliable car. It's not something you can drive on the road. It's not street legal. Not all the cars on Cars and Bids are street legal, but I don't know. I'm sure that the actual racing would cost you more than this car would. Apparently, according to the internet, a full season the professional star Mazda series costs around $200,000 to $300,000 in 2005. So, you paying $9,500 for your race car is pretty much pennies compared to what you would actually have to pay to participate in the racing. Other than racing in the competitions, you could race this thing for fun, I guess. But other than that, you have to have access to a track, and tracks usually aren't cheap. All right, moving on. We have the 2018 Chevy Camaro ZL1 1LE. Now, the regular ZL1 Camaro already is an amazing car. It is a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 engine with roughly 650 horsepower. Runs 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It is stellar. In the front of it comes with this cool little things that look like they could split you in half if they ran into you. Actually, fun fact, for a while, I don't know if it's still this way, but for a while they were banned in certain European countries because they were considered a danger to pedestrians, which I kind of agree with. I mean, look at these things. They look like blades. I mean, they're probably super thin and, plasticky, but they still look like they would mess you up if you ran into them. This one in particular is, I think it's a pretty sick color. I mean, it's pretty bland. It's not anything crazy. The front end is really the major puller for this car. The back end, I like this version of the Camaro. I like the 2019 or 2020 and the newest ones, the new gens of Camaros, the lights on those also as well. So that's the ZL1. The 1LE comes with carbon fiber racing wing, specific air deflectors, dive planes, that's a big word, things that create downforce. Basically, it is a track car. You can get the 1LE in the SS version as well. It is the non-supercharged 6.2-liter V8, and I have driven that, and it is amazing when it comes to handling. Very lightweight, rev matching, which when I did it, I didn't do it very well. It's very hard to rev match when you've been used to only driving a car with a clutch. But all around, usually comes with better, stickier tires, things like that, which let's see if they still have them. These were Michelin's. According to the internet, they originally come with Goodyear Eagle F1 tires. So these might have been replaced. I am not sure. I'm just reading these facts off of Chevy's website because I don't know for sure. Either way, it is an amazing car. Personally, I think right now it's $40,000. I would think this thing, when it came out brand new, was $69,000, $70,000 even. So I would pay probably about $70,000 for this now, for this car. I couldn't find any near me for sale, So, but when it came out, it was 70, and the regular 2018 Z01 Coupe now is around 70 because they're kind of hard to find and they're very cool. So I would think you're gonna pay like 70 to maybe 80 for this thing, depending on how this ends. All right, going to the next one, the Lotus Evora GT. It is, I would say, it's kind of a polarizing vehicle. Not a lot of people like Lotuses. I mean, they're not super reliable. They have a very like different look. I mean, the back end looks like this. They're not super popular. You don't see a lot of them. There's really only one model in America that Lotus has right now. It's this. I personally think it's really cool looking. It is an immensely small car. Like, look how short this thing is. It's real tiny. Doug DeMuro, the guy that owns the site, he did a review of one of the Lotuses in the past, and he looked ginormous next to it. And he's 6'3", if I remember correctly. This one comes in the 1 of Verde Scandal. I don't know how I feel about the color. Like, I love neon colored cars. I just don't really like the lime green, basically, of what this is. I do like that it matches the interior part right here, and I do like that gear shift, but yeah. I mean, the car itself, to buy normally starts at $100,000. They haven't really deteriorated in price much, mainly because they didn't make that many. Would I buy one of these? I don't know. I mean, you could get a Porsche 911 or a Cayman. A Cayman I think would be more applicable to this. You could spend six figures on a Cayman, and I think it becomes with more capableness and more refined. Because this thing is kind of a hard thing to drive, according to a lot of people that drive them. So, yeah, pay six figures. I think anything under 95 would be a good deal. But either way, it's still a very cool car to see on the website. Something that's kind of like not a lot of people have. This color especially. Now, me personally, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my gosh, I got an OEM color. I don't care about that. I think it's cool that it is colored that way. But if someone bought a red one and then wrapped it this color, I'd be like, that's equally fine. You would have to get the middle inside wrap too, and it would have to match all this. So it would be very hard to wrap this and match. But I actually really like these seats. They don't look comfy, to be honest with you. They look very uncomfortable, but they look very cool. So yeah, there's that. All right, moving on. 2015 Mustang Saleen S302 Yellow Label Coupe. So I had to Google this because I had never heard of these. I've heard of the Rouge Mustangs, but I've never heard of the Saleen. So those are new for me. According to Doug, this one boosts over 700 horsepower. Now, I don't know if I know about that, because according to Torque News, the 2015 302 yellow package, because there's three packages for this. There's the white, which is the base, there's yellow, which is the middle, and there's black, which is the top. The yellow is basically just a tune with an upgraded exhaust. The yellow comes with a supercharger, the black comes with a supercharger, and a lot more upgrades to make it basically just a full-blown powerhouse. According to this website, it makes 640 horsepower and 565 pound-feet of torque. According to Doug, it makes over 700 horsepower. Now, I never question Doug on anything. That man knows more about cars than I will ever know. But according to this website, it only has 640. Now, I don't know for sure. That's just what Torque News comes up with. As far as exterior looks, I mean, you get the rims, the front grille looks different. I mean, aesthetically, no one outside of the car community would know it's not a regular Mustang. I mean, even with the Saleen written on the back, no one's going to notice really any of that. So it is cool. It is just absurdly powerful. I would love to know how much it is actually be able to put the power down. I mean, when you have Hellcat numbers, a car that is even lighter than a Hellcat, I can't imagine being able to put the power down very quickly, but still very, very cool. I think a good price for these would probably be around 45 to 50. Currently for sale, there's a 2019 Saleen Yellow Label S302 for $68,000, and that's a 2019. So I'd say 45 to 55 for this car. I don't know for sure. I mean, it's cool, and you would definitely have something different and extremely powerful. But I would think 45 to 55 would be what I would pay for it. I don't really know. I couldn't find a lot of examples on the internet aside from this one. All right, final car, the Local Motors Rally Fighter, which Doug himself did a review on. So if you want to go watch his channel, do the full review. Basically, it's a company that made off-roading vehicles, and they did this really smart thing where they had the person that purchased them come and help them work on it so they could claim it was a self-made car, which made them legal in all 50 states, which is a very smart way of doing things, and I'd never heard of that. Basically, the way it works is they took a bunch of different parts from different vehicles and slapped it together. It's got like it's got Dodge Challenger rear mirrors. It has Honda Civic rear tail lights. They look almost exactly like the ones I had on my Honda Accord when I had one. It's a very capable off-roading vehicle. Doug did a review on it. It's got the 6.2 liter LSV8 from GM. I mean, Doug says it has really low miles, but really how many miles are you going to be able to put on an off-roading vehicle? I mean, I guess a lot, but I don't know how many is a lot. But it's still very cool. Right now it's at 675,500. According to the internet, the average is 74,214. So even at the current moment with 3 days left, it is already higher than the average sale price for this vehicle. The lowest ever apparently is 55,000, and the most recent is 75. So I would not pay more than this, but it is cool. I mean, and you would definitely need to be one of those people that has a place to drive it, because I certainly do not. But I don't think my HOA would appreciate me driving that down the street. All right, honorable mention, because I really love this car, even though it's not really crazy cool or anything like that, is the 2014 Audi RS7. I am biased because I love Audis. The 2014 Audi RS5, I've driven 3 of them, because every time I see one in my area, I go and test drive it because I am dying to get one. I personally just haven't been able to get a good price on it. In my opinion, it is the best Audi color from that generation. Actually, did they make it in this generation? They must have. This is the Nardo Gray. I thought that was a newer generation color, but it must not have been. It's this kind of gray. It's very like, I feel like it's like under the radar, really nice looking vehicle. It's got the black rims. Personally, I would have blacked out the RS7 and the badge in the back to match the rims, as well as blacked out this entire front, but that's just me. But either way, it is a very sick looking car. It's got it's 560 horsepower. It says great handling. As a lot of people will tell you about Audis, it is a very good handling, but a little numb for what I would consider sports cars. Like BMW, when you turn, you turn. But these things are kind of like, okay, you turn, not a lot of feedback, not crazy, anything like that. The all-wheel drive makes it very fast. The other thing I think is crazy is this car is super long. I mean, it's the biggest of the Audi sedans, the 7s. So this thing is incredibly long. So you can fit, I wonder if we can find a picture. Yeah, there's plenty of leg room in the back. You could drive a whole family around in your 560 horsepower RS7. Right now, the current bid is $38,500. I think that's a really good price for this thing. Right now, looking online, you can get one for around $45,000 for the mileage it's got. 48. 48 is what I find. Oh, with minor damage. 60. Yeah, 48. So, I would say if you can get this thing at 45, it's a really good deal. Me personally, I love this car, so I'm a little biased. I have some questionable reliability. I've read a lot of places that are around 75 to 85,000 miles. You're going to need to replace something hefty, and Audi, just like any German car, is not cheap. But yeah. So yeah, that is my video. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna do one of these probably weekly because I spend all of my time on this website anyways. I don't think they always have to be cool or interesting or crazy. I think it just might be something like, oh, look at this, or look at this. Also, what is this? What? Sir, why? Why did you do this? Maybe I shouldn't include this in honorable mention, but maybe like weird. Maybe that'll be another section, is weird pics or something like that. Because like, why did you need to do this to this Tesla? I mean, I get it. You're in California, Los Angeles specifically, so like you want to stand out, but like this ain't it. This ain't it. All right. Well, please subscribe to my channel. Join the Scrammer Squad, and love you guys. See you again next time.